Good morning, everybody. This is Tuesday, the 10th of September, and this is going to be the first part of a series that we're going to put together of a shed that we're building. Now, this is a new slatted house that we're putting up on a greenfield site. There never was any farmyard sheds on this field, on this particular farm before. It's our away farm, it's our out farm. It's one we cut most of our silage off, and it's also where we keep our in-calf and our 0 to 1 year old replacement dairy heifers. Now this shed, the purpose of this shed will be for basically housing our dairy 0 to 1 year olds, and we probably will put up for some late calving cows as well if needs be, but mainly the main purpose of it will be for our 0 to 1 year olds. Now it's a 4-bay single, and I suppose the best to explain it is it's a 4-bay single tank, but it's actually going to be a 3-bay house slat wise, and in the last bay we'll have walls up, no roof, and it will be a dry bed area where we can have for young calves in March and April. We can put them into there just before they get out, and also just to alleviate some of the pressure at home, because calf housing can get quite crowded around the month of March, just before you go to release. So it'd be nice just to be able to put them over here and have them, just give them a wee bit of an area to run around outside, and being able to come inside if needs be as well on the last bay. So that will be definitely very handy. Another good point to this tank and having it away from home rather than building at home would be that we'll have a good place for storage, slurry storage. We'll be able to come over here then in the winter time if needs be, when tanks, you know, we start to come under pressure in January or so, start to fill up at home. We can come over here, we can mix them and come over here and pump them into this tank here, and then come the time in February, late February, when it's time we do put slurry on our silage ground over here, the slurry's here, so we have an option to pipe, and you know, it's going to be very handy with it being beside where we need it, rather than having to take 2 or 3 days of constant drawing slurry over here. It'll already be over here, because we'll be in a busy time of the year then when cows is calving, and time just doesn't always be as available as it would be, you know, in the later months. So a wee bit of a description. At the minute, this tank is in roughly about 3 weeks now, 3.5 weeks. So we have gravel already stocked here now at the minute. Our digger man, our haymack, is coming back hopefully today, and he's going to start lifting that channel, which is the pile in the middle, and he's going to start backfilling behind these walls. So he's going to basically build it up, put as much as you can in, and then we'll put a coating of gravel across, and we'll try to bring it up more or less, you know, a few inches just below the top of the tank itself. And then hopefully in a few days time then our slats will be coming, and they will be dropped on. Now as I was saying, the last bay here will be solid slab, and then precasts, obviously, where our cubicles, there's cubicles in this shed, so our precast cubicles for our cubicles will be continuing on the last 3 bays. There'll be concrete, there's a concrete beam that crosses here, so you see the little step in that middle wall there. So there'll be a concrete beam that'll cross over to a little slot here that's in this wall, and same on the far side, and that's just to basically carry the slat and carry the cubicle. Because this tank is all one, we're having, you know, a lot of tanks do have the slats here on this side and the rest is just solid, but we decided we'd, you know, might as well have the storage, and so we put the tank underneath the cubicles as well, because, you know, that extra bit of storage, which is quite a lot, is great to have. You can't have enough of slurry storage. This in front of you here will all be concreted. Over here now we'll have a door coming out here to the side. There will be a concrete area here. There'll be a wall going up, I suppose, to the end of where the gravel is here. yeah, I'd say just roughly where the gravel ends here. There'll be a wall going up straight up there to roughly where you see where the topsoil is dug out. And then to the gable of that house there, there'll be a curved wall, kind of a semicircular wall at the back. So the semicircular wall coming around to a straight wall down here. And the chute will go up along this wall. We'll have a division gate then in the middle of the yard, and we'll have a gate across here as well. So we'll have 2 pens for holding cattle. Now, the curved wall, we'll have a post in the centre. So it'll basically act like a clock. Cattle will go in behind that gate, and then there's a shove gate behind. So we can just keep it pushed over, a few latches in the wall every so often, keep the cattle up and keep them going up into the chute. I've seen it in different farms. It works well. It saves a lot of time. It saves a lot of handling. It's an awful lot safer because you don't really have to go in to the cattle. You're just pushing the gate up behind them. It's a lot less stress on the cattle too, and everything, you know, they see their way out as going down the crush. So when they get used to it, it should be very simple operation. Nothing really high tech about it, but yeah, it's just something we seen and we liked, and we said we'd go down that route. So that's really it. The only other things, there'll be a few bits and pieces going into it. We've never had electric on this farm before, so we're running battery fences, which, as anyone knows who runs battery fences, you know, they can be a pain after a while. You know, you're constantly changing batteries. You only know when the battery fence is not working when the cattle nearly has broke through it, unless you're watching them every single day. So this house will have power. Now our ESB has to come way down at the bottom of our fields down below. It's about 500-600 yards away, but it will have power then, and that will be great on its own. Just having power into this farm, we'll be able to put up a little hut somewhere, maybe along the side or whatever, and we'll put our electric fence in there. We'll fit a few bits and pieces. Another thing that's going into the ceiling of this house is a PTZ camera. We find we've used a PTZ rather than a static camera. We upgraded our calving system last year, and we found it brilliant. It has just been phenomenal. The clarity of being able to zoom in on animals, being able to cover a huge area. We can cover nearly 2 houses with the one camera, and we don't miss anything. It's just so easy to use. Yes, you need to have a fairly reliable broadband to run it, but in this case here, and because this shed is roughly, this farm here now, and where the shed is built is in sight line of my home, which is half a mile to 3/4 of a mile away, we can mirror, I think it's a mirror system to put up that can mirror our broadband from our home to here. So we can put a router in here, and we can have another we can have another hot point here, where we can have broadband, so it'll run off that system. It's just brilliant because we'll have no cows calving, we'll have no animals in here that'll be calving. As I say, it's all 0 to 1 year olds, but if you were away, if you had something to do, if you're extremely busy and you didn't want to come over that evening, there's plenty of silage and you didn't want to come over that evening, you can always turn on your phone. You can always have that bit of comfort knowing that everything's okay. You can have a quick zoom around. If animals are all happy, then, you know, that saves you a journey. So I think it's something worthwhile doing. So that's really it. We'll keep you updated soon with more stuff to come. And until then, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and hopefully we'll keep a good stream of these videos coming in the next few days. We'll give you a good update on what's happening here. Thanks for watching. Until the next one. Bye now.